But if we're adamant about keeping that keeping Viper Magi, I can see the benefit having the cast. I would say there's a couple of ways you could go with this. I'm gonna switch just for the pixelization here. We're gonna go over to Will's standpoint. I would say you have a couple of options. You could go Immortal Sork, right? You could go like 95 ES, give up the mana pots, which is a little risky. And then you could actually jam a Malrune in your Viper Magi, because now the inherent MDR that it has on it actually matters quite a bit. So there is that. But if you don't go that route, I would say probably just a Facet would be the best thing to add. But hell yeah, boys. Let's get up in here for this match. Some good old Sin v Din. Let's friggin' jam. Oh, man. Yeah, I would say so, too. Facets, probably. FHR is good for the matchups where you need it. It's hard to beat Facets on a Cold Sork. It really is, man. Especially where it's just that there's the hard cap of resistances. You always just kind of want to be ripping them away as much as you can. Oh, man. I gotta say, Crypto Ninja getting in there with borderline Jits skill. Borderline Jits charging skill here. He's also got, look at this. He is very likely an Auradin here. He very likely has some auras that he's doing some damage with, or at least trying to. We see the Holy Fire aura and the Conviction as he approaches. But the drawback to this is that he's going to be kiting himself through a lot of traps. So Will, once he notices this here, he's kiting him through some traps. Look at this big charge in here as well from Morpheus, aka the Crypto Ninja. Rolling those dice, relying on that weapon block. Now Crypto Ninja throwing in that FOH. I actually really like that. New rule that does affect this matchup here. The Sin can now stack up to 80%. Oh, big charge. And down goes Will. The Crypto Ninja getting there in round one with the Auradin. That is wild, man. Yeah, so there is some new tech for the Sin here. She could theoretically go up to 80% light res. But if she goes up past 75, she can't wear Sorb just yet. All right, we're taking baby steps, but 80%. 80% seems good. It's a little something with the weapon block and everything else. Yeah, that was no bow that time for sure. No CMC, still 97. I think I'm in no hurry to get, if we didn't get it during 22 nights, which was the big goal, I'm in no hurry to get it there. We did get to 97 before we realized it was just going to be a follow the mosaic Sin sort of thing. So I'm kind of happy with 97 though. I'll probably keep it at 97 for a while, switch it to a Wind Druid, switch my 99 to a Shaman Druid. And I think we've essentially, it's good enough, right? Like we only really need 94 for a Wind Druid. We got 97. We're only 2 levels away from the max. We'll get there. We'll get there with some nice TZs. True, yeah. They don't really have the room to stack it, which is true. I did think of that, and I was like, let's go with baby steps, right? Because just imagine in the times where they do decide they want to stack it, they're going to give up FCR to be absolutely unkillable, and I think it would feel bad. Like, you'd probably use it against an Auradin here, but even then, I guess you're not technically unkillable. They could still get you. It would just be very miserable. Fire Sork would be fucking miserable. Unwinnable for the Fire Sork, I think. Even if they give up the cast, like, fuck it, they could just set traps. Yeah. Got my Necro to 95, said no more. Couldn't do it any longer. Got so boring, yeah. Yeah, Necro isn't the best, man. You really have to have like the most decked out gear. And then I do actually find the Necro enjoyable to level to 99. I think it's an enjoyable build, but it is certainly not a simple one. There's a lot of keys you're going to be hitting. It's not quite a piano build, but it's probably the closest thing you can get to one. Oh, big smites there from Crypto Ninja. This Oridon is very interesting. Notice him just constant aggression, constant cycling around these traps. He's got so many forms of offense here. He's got the FOH. He's got the smite. He, of course, has the auras. Those auras do some decent tick damage, but they're not outrageous, right? It's not outrageous. And I think if Will can stay on the outside here and sort of kite Crypto Ninja through these traps like he's doing, I think this is a very good approach, especially noticing that your opponent can't teleport. I think that's a really good way to do it. Look at that, just setting up an alley of traps is Will. Gotta be careful of getting too close, because once he gets under that conviction, it all gets worse. The auras, the FOH, even the charges, even the random charges are gonna have a lot of elemental damage behind them. Yeah, I mean, basically any Necro you have is gonna turn into CE spam. But there are certain areas where the Poison Nova is just good enough. You probably are still casting CE, but it's might not even be necessary. Damn, son. No bow for Will here. His opponent is very, very low. And got him with that aura. Holy shit, that was close. I wonder if he would have recasted Bo there if he would have survived it. He was so low it might not have mattered. But damn, man, Crypto Ninja getting in there with the Oridon. That is crazy. Yeah, I swapped Mizon to have 105 on swap instead of on the main. And I gotta say, she absolutely flatlines shit now. It's like a way better build. Sin is making a mistake keeping traps in open, in my opinion. Should use puddles a bit more, make it harder for Gin. Yeah. Yeah, hug the puddles, especially where he can't telly. He isn't gonna like puddle you from a telly stomp or something. Yeah, and just make him run around the puddles. That could be epic. Jam it. Let's see if he makes that. Let's see if Will makes that correction. See if he runs him through the mud and the muck of some puddles. Look at that big ass puddle right here. He's gonna keep him right by that puddle. Now we've got Crypto Ninja trying to go on the outside here. Uh-oh, yeah, there it is. Hard for him to get in there. Look at it, Max, you fucking devil, you. You fucking devil, you. Look at this. This is diabolical, right? Holy shit. Someone ban that Max guy for these diabolical ideas. Yeah, I actually swapped to a full 4-faceted shield too, 320 IAS gloves and High Lords. So when we swap, we go 105. So if we have to telly anywhere, we just swap telly. But otherwise, dude, the damage output from that is fucking savage. Still not a cheap build, but I think a little bit better than my last one. Hell yeah, man. Well, the thing is, it is very interesting, but Crypto Ninja still has outs to this. He still has FOH. So what he can do is CT cast the FOH, which will discourage Will from camping the traps around the puddle, right? So like he can sit out here, he can CT cast FOH, and that makes it very, very difficult for Will to keep all of his traps around the puddle. He would essentially have to put some out there. Damn. Damn, son, this is crazy. The Crypto Ninja certainly having a little bit more of a rough time getting in, but he is scoring some damage. Utilizing that puddle to his full advantage. Oh, look at that. Was that a teleport? Was that telecharge teleport? That is interesting. That's going to mix things up. That was a massive desync. Yeah, he might be staying on the outside there. Repping up the life and forcing the disengagement from the puddle. Might be. No, oh no, he's coming back. Puddle greater than house, yeah. What does the queue look like? We'll throw you in there, AF50. It's pretty deep, but as you know, with some of the longer duels, we can swap off and check out some other ones. So far, this is 2-0 in favor of the Crypto Ninja. But Will now making a big comeback, showing this puddle strat here. What we'll do is after this round, we'll cut over to Nim versus Dirty if y'all are ready. I'm surprised though, Crypto Ninja actually still getting some hits in here. I believe with the auras. He might be getting some aura hits in here. He's taking these really wide turns out here too. He is definitely not trying to engage around those puddles. I like the mix in of FOH there. When that hits clean, we're actually going to see how good that really is. They've both of those shots were claw blocked. Both of those FOHs were claw blocked there. That one wasn't, and it doesn't look like it was huge. It could have also been a tick from the aura, but it looked like it was a hit from FOH. Wasn't huge. But it did something. Damn, I am actually really surprised that Ninja is like getting big damage in there. This is for such absolute puddle fuckery. He has handled this pretty well. He's actually working Will down quite a bit. Oh yeah, there it is. Nice telly stomp from him. Little bit of desync going on there too. I love it. Man, what a wild match. I told him to do this. Yep. Wait for him to need more mana and give him the heat. Yeah, exactly. There it is. There it is. He's giving him the heat now. He's giving him the heat. He ain't got no bow on either. Oh my God, and he gets there. The patience pays off. Holy shit. Damn, son. Oradin is pretty tough for Trapper actually, but auras seem low damage. Yeah, it does. It seems like he's really done a good job of hybridizing his damage here. I mean, it doesn't take much to make your auras do a ton of damage. But he has certainly hybridized this very well. I've been getting reps, he says. Hell yeah, man. That is sick. 3-0 so far for the Crypto Ninja. That is wild, man.